Welcome to another edition of Mike and Scott's BS Session, home of the latest news in the bass fishing industry. So pull up a chair and get ready. This is not your mama's fishing show. Okay, enough of the blah, blah, blah. Here's Mike and Scott.
I like the new intro music.
It's pretty wild, eh?
Yeah,
it's pretty wild.
Pretty good.
It's pretty sick. So how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, and you?
I'm doing great. We're sitting here in the garage. We're
Back
back
in the garage. Yeah, we are now down to light jacket wear.
Yes,
I'm wearing my K-Way suit.
You are wearing the K-Way suit, the Windbreaker K-Way suit. Sick looking suit, by the way. Great logo.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Scott did a great job on it.
He did. He put a nice suit together for us.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Did a very nice job, and we're very pleased.
Yeah. So we are on the air with another slam-packed show.
Oh, crazy show tonight. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got a lot of people to talk about. Geez, where do you
like talking about people, right?
Well, there's a lot of guys out there doing stuff. It's fishing season.
It is.
Now everybody's getting active.
I just got off the water.
I know. And a lot of people did today. They were fishing. I spoke to a lot of guys today. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. The fishing season is kicking back in, and that's really exciting for us.
I told our friend Steve Bosley that I went fishing today and that I was hooking some 4-pound smallies.
Very nice.
And he had some very unpleasant words to tell me.
Well, I think Mr. Bosley better be careful with his unpleasant words. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I hear you.
You know what I mean? I think it needs to be. I think it needs to be careful. That's for sure. So, excuse me. No. There's a lot of good stuff going on these days, and we're really excited about the show tonight. We're going to what? Yeah, when you look at that's it. That's the one. That's the network. Yeah, my.
Can you enter the password so we don't?
Okay. So you talk away, and I'll.
So no, we have a. Oops.
Yeah, wrong password.
We have so many passwords these days.
Yeah.
In life, we got a password for everything that we have to do. You got to go to the bathroom. You got to enter a code in the door.
Okay, so let's see.
So that should be good. We got a jam-packed show tonight with another cheater.
Yes. Well, this is part of the tidbits. We'll go into that.
Okay.
We'll talk with the cheater. But tonight's guest, we got Ed from PaddleTales Tackle in Winchester, Ontario.
We do.
I talked with Ed this week. He's the one.
We got a huge guest.
Gary Dobyns.
Yeah, from Dobyns Rods.
Yeah,
he'll developed a great fishing rod.
You're in.
Great product.
Yeah, you're into my special network.
Yeah, I'm a little sketchy. I don't know if I'm going to get a virus.
You like that network name?
It sounds good to me.
Yeah, well, I didn't get it. So, yeah, we got Gary Dobyns coming on, the Evinrude pro staffer. He's going to be on here tonight. He's going to have Ed from PaddleTales. Ed's got a big do going on tomorrow. Look out chickens. Look out poultry. It's going to be a foul day in Winchester, Ontario.
Feathers are going to be flying.
Feathers are going to be flying. Feathers are going to be flying. There's going to be chicken flying all over the place. So look out for tomorrow at PaddleTales. And Ed's going to be on tonight to talk to us about that. I want to touch tonight's tidbits. We're going to touch on something you found last week on the internet. And that's about the cheater.
Yeah, that was bad.
Another cheater gets revealed.
In the BFL. Huh?
Yeah. And this is becoming
it's becoming way too common.
Way too common.
But you know what I think it is?
Yeah.
Is I don't think it's happening more often than it has. I think people are finally wising up to.
Well, they're getting caught.
How to catch.
They're getting caught, right? They're getting caught. People are getting caught.
The days of weighing a fish and the weighmaster not examining the fish are long gone.
That's right. They're long gone.
When he sees a bass that sitting on the bottom of the weigh station and not moving.
Yeah. Well, he was sitting on the bottom.
He couldn't move.
He couldn't move. All right. It's like dragging a bit of an anchor.
It's kind of like you and I after a Christmas supper.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
You can't move.
You can't move. You're stuck in the chair.
You got a lead weight.
You're going nowhere.
4 pounds of mashed potatoes and turkey.
Exactly.
You're not going anywhere. And in the bass's case, unfortunately, it's a real tragedy.
It is.
The guy's putting up to almost a pound of lead.
Listen to this. This guy's from North Carolina. He was caught weighing in a bass with an 11-ounce lead weight. He put it in his belly. All right.
But, the crazy thing is he took the time to design a weight.
Yeah, to get it in there.
To get it in there.
Without killing the fish. So this guy's name, John Hoyle, Hoyle, also known, a.k.a. Brian Hoyle. So this guy has an a.k.a.
He's got an alien.
He's got an alien.
That's already not a good sign.
There's like, are you Brian or are you John this week?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that was just in case he got caught and banned. Hopefully he's banned.
Well, he's banned for life, all right? He's from Rutherfordton, North Carolina. I hope I pronounced that right. Rutherfordton, North Carolina.
Rutherfordton.
Rutherfordton. Caught weighing in a bass that had a hand-poured 11-ounce lead weight in its gullet. The FLW, who caught him, not only disqualified him, but at the BFL event on Wiley, but they also banned him for life. He's gone.
Good.
It's a done deal, all right? Obviously, the lynch mob is out in North Carolina, right? In the fishing circles, anyway. Yeah. And chances are this guy, you know, he probably has cheated before. He just got caught. That is terrible.
We say nothing.
We say nothing, right? But between you, that is terrible.
Yeah, that's a god-awful picture.
That's a god-awful picture. So, yeah, the lynch mob is out there, and, you know, everyone's going back now looking at his records and saying, you know, did he win before?
Listen, once a cheater, always a cheater.
Well, you know, that's it. So he's gone. He's gone for life, that's for sure. And, you know, kudos to the FLW. They're taking the extra steps to clean up their tournaments. And
well, you know what? They're the benchmark.
Well, they are. I mean, they're trying to make sure everybody feels safe and they're not getting caught by
guys are getting caught in other organizations, and FLW is examining them.
Yeah.
And scrutinizing them, whether or not they should even be allowed to fish in FLW after being banned from another circuit, you know. So
there should be sort of like a bank of cheaters. You know, like child abusers? You have a bank of child abusers. There should be a bank of tournament cheaters.
Right.
So that all the organizations that are out there know that these guys have been accused and found guilty of cheating in a tournament. And so that we all know that these guys should not be allowed in these tournaments.
No, they shouldn't. Yeah, of course.
They shouldn't. I mean, this guy should be barred. He's up there. Now, here's the kicker. Well,
he did.
Where's the kicker?
Yeah,
he wanted to win the big bass.
$1,000.
Yeah, he was already in second place. If he'd not put this weight in the fish, he'd finish like third.
Listen, but this guy, I got some really harsh words for this guy. Never mind what Steve told me. I got an added vocabulary.
We can get real creative with this guy, but the point is, you know, this is everywhere. And you got to be careful about it. But on the same token, and we've talked about this subject about cheating, and when you point your finger at somebody and you say he's cheating, you better be sure of what you're saying.
Correct.
Right? You better be sure, because to put that moniker on anybody is a very, very
big accusation.
It's very big, very big. So you got to be really careful about doing that. Yeah. You know? But kudos to the FLW.
Because we've seen many scenarios where it's been pure speculation.
Yes, exactly.
And you don't want to speculate or accuse somebody if you don't have any proof.
Well, you can ruin a guy's career.
Well, not only that, you can look like a real putz. You can look like you can make yourself look worse.
Well, for sure.
You know, you're talking in thin air. You are.
There are processes in place, right, to follow up if you think someone has broken the rules.
Yeah.
You can follow up with the process. You can register your protest and have the rules followed. But just make sure, you know, that when you turn around and you say to somebody, I think he's a cheater, that's a big, big, big accusation.
Yeah, that's a bullshit.
You better have some very big proof.
Concrete evidence,
or else don't go around saying that about me.
No.
Right? Don't do that. So, I mean, that being said, kudos to the FLW for cleaning it up and making it, you know, just adding to more credibility to the way they run their organization.
Hey, they're a top-notch organization.
No, they are. There's no doubt. They are the benchmark.
They usually make the right call.
Yeah, they usually do. They usually do make the right call. And, you know, our good buddy Rick Perry is associated to them.
Absolutely.
And it's having guys like Rick around that...
well, that's why he's also associated with the B1.
That's right. Because he gives credibility.
Yeah, exactly.
You bring credibility. So, no, that's all good. So you were out fishing today. How did you do?
We did fantastic.
You did fanatic. You did so good, you can't even say fantastic.
Exactly.
Oh, very good. Very good.
My cheeks are all burnt from the sun, so they're having trouble moving.
I'm not going to ask you, there goes the Voodoo Custom truck.
You must have seen the bass cat sitting on the side of your house.
He probably did.
Yeah, a little...
so the phone will ring. The phone will ring.
Sooner.
There you go. Well, that's good. I'm not going to ask you what body of water you're on, obviously, but...
well, we were fishing in New York.
Okay.
And
you were on Lake Champlain.
Yeah.
Right.
And we found a smallmouth pattern.
Okay, good.
Which was
killer today. Okay.
They were sucking the baits in so deep.
Really, eh?
Yeah. It's a good thing I had pliers because.
Oh, you had to go get it.
Oh, I had to go get them deep.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Any like really damaged
no,
fish? Everybody survived?
No mortalities.
Everything,
no fatalities. I should say.
No fatalities.
And everything was good. You know.
Well, that's very very.
They were
good.
inhaling.
They were, eh? Well, you know, that's you found an aggressive bite, which is
well,
nice.
They were feeding. They were fat.
They're fat.
Yeah, they had. Get
out of here.
Water temps were anywhere from 44 to 48. The best fishing we had was probably in around 45 degrees, but I think it was more about location and temperature at that.
You think so, right? Yeah. How much did you have?
Between 44 and 48.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
But
that correlates what I
This
said.
is main lake fishing.
Right. Yes, it's main lake fishing. You're not up some small creek
not
anywhere.
In a creek.
No.
When we got close to creek mouths,
right,
the temperature went up.
Right.
Right now, the temperature just went up.
Yeah, the temperature has gone up, and actually, what you're doing is fishing open water, deeper water. Yeah, you're fishing deeper water.
Yeah,
and it's a different pattern than if you're going up creek.
Correct.
Flipping logs of structure.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay. So you had a good day. You only fished a few hours.
Yeah, I fished like 2.5 hours.
Wow, that's a long ride.
It was, mind you. We did what? I think it took us an hour to get there, an hour to get back. So it wasn't too bad.
Okay, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. No. Where did you put in?
Up in Plattsburgh.
Up in Plattsburgh area?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's definitely good stuff. You know something? We're gonna do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, we're going.
We're going. We're gonna do some footage from the water.
Oh,
for next week's show. All right. We're gonna do some footage.
Well, with some recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's right.
Fish on! You want them to hear you scream like a girl? Like
I know. I scream like a little girl. It's terrible, eh?
Yeah.
It's terrible. Imagine this year, 40 years fishing. I'm still screaming like a girl.
Yeah.
That's just terrible.
That says something about the sport. That's how exciting fishing can be.
It definitely does. Tonight we got a great guest that's coming on, Ed from PaddleTales Tackle in Winchester, Ontario. If anybody who doesn't know Ed has essentially been in the bass fishing business, and he's had a tackle shop up in Winchester for quite a few years now.
How long now?
I don't know. It seems like forever for me, anyway. And Ed started out his business. He has a sort of a video rental business in the front of the store. And
does it correlate to your password for your?
Basically.
Okay.
And
one of those ones that you have to go through the doors or fold.
No, you walk through the doors, but not through the folding doors with the curtain kind of thing, right?
Red light.
Yeah. No children over 18. He doesn't do that, but he does. He doesn't have a big space. His store's not big. But I can tell you now, it's like his store. I look at it like a diamond. It isn't big, but oh my God,
the concentration of quality
is all there. All right, This guy packs into a very small space some of the best baits, some of the most unknown baits, some of the most efficient baits and equipment that you can find on the market today.
Well, the thing is, he specializes. You know,
he does.
He's a specialist in finding what's hot.
Oh yeah, he does. Ed does. Ed spends his time down at the ICAST show every year. Ed spends his time, searching the internet and taking calls from bait makers and bait producers and equipment builders all year. You know, that's what he does. On top of that, somewhere in there, Ed finds time to fish. He's actually a fish. He's not actually a fish. He's not a fish, but he may as well be a fish. But Ed fishes renegade bass. He fishes renegade bass. He's been fishing it for quite a few years. And, he's obviously, the store is there because, well, that's a nice bag of fish.
I think those are at a
32-pound limit bag, drop shotting.
That looks like Japan to me.
That's definitely Japan. Yeah, that's definitely Japan. So he's been doing it for quite a while, obviously. And his store contains, when you go down there, it's like sort of walking through the St. Joseph's Oratory of Baits.
Yeah.
Right? You go up there, he's got, all the great plastics that you could ever want, all the stuff that you can't find in the big retail stores. Ed has them. And, our philosophy when we go up to Ed's is very simple. Is you see something you like on a peg, empty the peg.
Exactly.
Just take the whole
Don't give a chance to
to use it. Just empty the
he's
peg.
aware of that.
No, he knows.
So he fills the peg, and then you empty the peg.
Yeah.
You get to the cash. After you paid,
he fills the peg again. Well, but that's okay. That's okay. Ed, it's funny because I had a conversation about it with Ed a few years back, and Ed, when he first opened up, he had like walleye stuff and, all kinds of, he was very versatile. And Ed told me that there's a big difference in the walleye fishermen. I think I got him online now, so maybe he can hear us speaking. And Ed told me, something like, he said, walleye guys, he said, I learned very quickly when he opened his business. He said, walleye guy comes in, he takes one bait off the shelf, off the peg, and he bargains you to the price on the bait. Whereas the back guy comes in, he empties the peg. And he doesn't ask you any questions about the price. So Ed learned very quickly when he started his business out that you're going to be selling bass gear. And he's doing a terrific job. So we're going to bring him on here right now and give him a talk.
Is he on now?
He's on. He's going to be on right now. Okay, he's going to be on right now. That's for sure. Super. Mr. Ed Whatfat, how are you?
I'm doing super. How are you?
I'm
a little hoarse. It's been one of those days. I've been going like a scared cat. The sun must be shining.
Well, Ed, that means that you were it was shining today here in Montreal, and that must mean you were busy, which doesn't surprise me at all. We're great to have you on the show tonight. And as usual, I was talking to a couple of people today over at Maple Grove Marine, and we were saying, so what's going on tomorrow? And I said, there's a big do going on up at Ed's again. And they said, really? I said, yeah, you got to get up there. It's another. And I didn't know, and I'm going to ask you tonight, Ed, is it an official poultry palooza tomorrow?
Well, I don't know if I've got a definition for official. I think the guarded answer is yes.
Okay.
There will be chicken. So that's sort of the baseline for qualification. So yes, it's an official one. I find the one that we do this time of year, like the pike and walleye open on the St. Lawrence above the dam next week, and it's sort of our last kick at the cat. But it's more of a social event. We got a slew of guys out. Certainly we're going to have some stuff on sale, and I would be awfully disappointed if I didn't sell anything. But it's a social thing, and guys will visit and eat, and we've got some boats that are going to be on display. There's a van going to be here from Shimano that'll have 60 or 70 different combos on board. If you want to try a particular rod and reel combo in the Shimano or Loomis lineup, they're going to have that there. And again, we've got some specials going on, but as I said, you've been in our store a number of times, and it's more about the social thing than it is the sale. I figure if you're comfortable in the store, if you have a good time there, as long as we have the right product mix, and I really hope we do, you'll come back.
Well, something, Ed, it's funny you mentioned that because I know I was talking with Norm the other night. He hit me up on Facebook, and he said, I asked Norm, I said, does Ed still do his little get-togethers with the popcorn and that on Thursdays? He says, yeah. He says, everybody goes down and hangs out around the store. Your store is sort of like my garage. Everybody comes here, there's a beer fridge, and if
the only thing is you don't serve us popcorn.
Well, I don't serve you popcorn. You got to.
I don't serve beer, so.
Okay.
You're gonna have to make do with Pepsi. Sorry.
Well, there you go. And he said you still have those Thursday get-togethers, Ed, and I think that is really great.
Yeah, it's become a little bit of an institution, and the last few weeks it's been really, really busy. We're drawing a few new people. Like you've got the same old guard that comes out all the time, and it's great. And sometimes maybe it's a little bit intimidating for the new person because, you mentioned Norm, and there's Norm and Gary. There's a bunch of guys that hardly ever miss a week. They know each other real well, and it's not a clique. But to the outsider looking in, it's almost like a clique, and nobody has ever, spurned anybody. But it can be a little intimidating to sort of break into the circle.
Right.
And again, there's now, if I'm busy with somebody else, there's a couple guys. Okay, there's a new guy. Then let's go over, make sure we make conversation, kind of get him into the group, and ease them in. And
right.
Sometimes like the humor can get like we'll there's a lot of trash talk going on some nights, and it can be a hoot, you know. There's a lot of back and forth. If there's a hockey game going, and like I know there's one fellow that comes out a lot as a Boston fan, and you know there's a couple guys that cheer for Toronto, and I don't know. There's still a team in Montreal, I think. I'm not sure, but there might be somebody that cheers for them.
Whoa, Ed, whoa. Whoa, hold on. It's still hurting from last night. Ed's still hurting from last night.
Yeah, that's right.
You still got some scars.
So, you know, we confirmed finally the playoff last night, so I'm awful cocky today. Sort of the term Benny Rooster kind of comes to mind, you know.
Let the trash talking begin.
Oh, yes. But you know something, Ed, that is great. And the fact that you have a place where people can just go, like you said, it's more of the social aspect of it, and your event on this weekend is the social aspect that's going on. And it just happens to be, and I was saying to Scott before he came on the air, the fact that you do so much work over the winter. You're at ICAST. You're in contact with all the new bait company and manufacturers over the year during the winter period. And your shop, like I was telling Scott, it's not a big shop, but you know something? Diamonds aren't big either. But your shop just happens to contain all of the I gotta have stuff to fish, to fish competitively. The big retail stores don't carry a lot of the stuff that you have, and that's what makes you so unique. And kudos to the team at PaddleTales. You guys are doing a great job of making sure that these stuff become available to the competitive angler.
Well, it's a lot of work, I'm sure, to try and research all the baits that are hot on the market. You know.
Yeah.
You got to put all that together. So definitely, good job.
I think our size works a bit in favor of us. Like like the big chain stores, they're a big machine. And it's like trying to stop a freighter. You know, you don't throw the brakes on that stops. For them to bring in something new, there's all these different levels that it has to go through.
Yeah.
So by the time they get it in, I've had it for a year because they're just me and Sandy, and I like that, so it's coming in. And that's we've got it next week.
No, that's the big advantage. You guys do a great job in driving the business, and the other aspect that is so great about your shop, Ed, is that you may have a unique bait. You may be the first one to bring it to the market and make it available to guys, but your prices are so competitive. Every price you see on a sticker on Ed's shop includes the taxes.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a great
easy now.
I tried it.
It will this weekend.
Yeah, you will this weekend,
but not necessarily all the time.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you now, though. I mean, irrespective, you guys are doing an incredible job. You're a small shop, Ed. I would hate, I don't want to say this, but I would hate to see you get big, because if you got big, you'd have to go corporate. And if you go corporate, you get inefficient. Right now, you're efficient. The people that we send up there from Montreal and the Montreal region all come back with great things to say about you and the job that you and Sandy are doing up there. And I just hope you guys keep on doing it. So I want you to tell me what's exactly, you said you have the boats coming up tomorrow, right? You've got maybe some specials on some gear. What time does all this start?
The store opened at 9. I think the Shimano van's getting there about 9, and he'll be up and ready to go by about 10. The boat should be there by 9. Officially, we're open at 9. Most of the stuff will really get rolling closer to 10.
Okay.
By 5 o'clock or so, it's pretty much winding down. I think the chicken shows up, the first batch of chicken, at about 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And strangely enough, that seems to be when a lot of the people show up. I don't know if there's a connection there or not.
Right.
But it's...
I just got a hit on Facebook, Ed. There's a guy that says he wants to head to your place and bring a pig and a lot of charcoals and a big spit.
Okay. I'll dig a hole in the asphalt tonight. We're on.
That's what I'm
do
going
it right there.
That's what I'm going to tell him. Don't put it up to this, or next thing it'll be a pig palooza.
That's not a bad idea.
Ed'll do it. If it involves food, he'll definitely do it. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And how can people get in touch with you if they want to hook up with some gear online, or if they want to give you a call to find out when there are other events, or where can they see that there's announcements of other events? I know you come on to fishingcanada.net on a regular basis and you announce these things. Where else can they see, can they get in contact with PaddleTales?
Our toll-free number is 888-886-8815. H are on sale.
All right.
Got a deal. You can reach me at ed@paddletales.com, and it's PaddleTales.com. And if you know me, you know why we spelled tails that way. I've known to tell the occasional story.
I there's something about you and the storytelling that goes a long way, and the fact that you're a fisherman. I don't know.
That's they kind of go hand in hand.
They kind of go hand in hand. Tails and fishing.
Yeah.
Ed's got them all nailed.
I've got a sign in the store. I got several signs, but one in particular that says rubber boots may be required. Fishing stories are going on. You know?
Yeah.
And we'll be walking in the thick stuff.
Well, it's funny you mentioned, Ed. Before I let you go, I want to let you know that our next guest has fished with you several times, and he has told me that you're very good at the tails, especially the tail about the 9-pounder from Florida.
Yes, well, actually, it was California.
Okay, California.
And it wasn't quite 9.
Well, okay.
Now we're finding out.
It was an 898, and Gary dunked it back in the water, weighed again wet, and it was 899. He said, "It's not hitting 9, Ed." And the truth is, somebody catches something that's 9. It's not a 9. It's a 901 or 903. Right. And if somebody says they caught a 9, what they're telling you is they caught maybe an 88. Maybe it's an 898. I got awful close, but it's not a 9.
Not a 9.
So I've got to go back, and I've got to catch me a 9.
Well,
or maybe a 10.
I would think if you've got to go back, you need a bodyguard.
Or a witness.
And a witness. And a scale. Somebody to hold the scale and the bag and carry your suitcase, too, and your fishing. Right? So the number is 514.
You just have to change your name to Garçon.
That's all I have to do. Garçon.
Yeah. Just, so when I yell Garçon,
I will show up.
Garçon, hand me my cooking
stick. Hand me my cooking stick. Oh, I like that. Ed, listen, thank you. I know you're busy in the store tonight. Thank you for taking the time out to come on to the show with us. We really appreciate it. Everybody who's listening tonight and playing this podcast, you can look up Ed at www.paddletales.com. If you are in the area in Winchester, Ontario tomorrow, you have to drop into this shop. You will feel like you're sitting in your own garage or your own basement and where your fishing gear is. This guy will make you feel at home. Ed, thank you very much on behalf of all the listeners tonight, and get back to work and get there selling some stuff, and start preparing the chicken for tomorrow.
Start seasoning them chickens.
I'm first batch is going on, so to go back to the store. Appreciate the opportunity, guys, and hope to see you out here tomorrow.
We will definitely be there. Take care, Ed.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Wow.
Yep.
That was Ed.
That was Ed.
There you go.
Okay, I hope you didn't hang up on the other one.
No. Before we go to our next guest, we're going to do a commercial break and pay some bills.
The commercial break now.
We're going to do commercial breaks and pay some bills, and we're right back with FLW and Evinrude star, the top of the mountain, Mr. Gary Dobyns.
Evinrude outboard motors with E-Tech technology are designed to keep you on the water doing what you enjoy and not sitting in the shop. 3 years or 300 hours before you need to service your Evinrude E-Tech power plant. 2-stroke power combined with the economy of a 4-stroke. For those dedicated to water, power, fishing, and fun. Evinrude, official motor sponsor of Mike and Scott's BS session.
Well, there you go. Evinrude Motors, and speaking of Evinrude Motors...
Ooh, mine ran like a scalded cat today.
Did it?
Ooh.
I tell you, we're staring at a brand new 2013 250 HO.
We've got 2 of them.
Yeah! Crazy.
That thing looks like it's propped just right.
Oh.
I can't wait for a test run in that thing.
We got to get that puppy screaming. This guy, the man coming on, started fishing the Effort Start Western Division Series in 2003, and this dude, as a pro,
he banked some money, huh?
He banked some big bucks. And year number 1, he only fished 2 tournaments. Look at that dollar value, over 50 grand. guy doesn't pull any punches. You do not want to give this guy your spots.
No.
Nor do you want to get in a tournament with this guy. He is not a donator.
Hold on to your wallet.
Hold on to the wallet, because this guy is going to be putting his hand in it, that's for sure. He has been fishing professionally on the FLW and BSS series since 2003. This man has been a machine. Not only has he been a machine on the professional circuits, but in his spare time, he started a rod company.
Yeah, and a great rod company at that.
Most definitely.
A lot of positive feedback from friends that fish exclusively his rods.
Yeah, Mr. Dobyns, Mr. Gary Dobyns, is one of the more successful tournament fishermen in the United States, in North America, and he owns a very good rod company that's running right now, and it is run by the Canadian distribution is run by a good friend of ours, Jim Van Ryn, of the Rod Glove, right?
Yeah.
So without any further ado, we're going to introduce you.
Hold here for 4 minutes.
That's right. We're going to introduce you to D-Man. Mr. Dobyns, how are you tonight?
Thank you, guys. Hey, following Ed's a tough act. Ed is absolutely one of my rod dealers up in Canada, and he came out last December, and we went on a fishing trip. And he'll tell you he caught a 9-pounder, but it was really only 8.98, so don't let him get away with that.
He's been trying. He told us he bought the 9-pound patch, but...
Yeah. Yeah, we had a great time with Ed. He's a great fisherman, and he's a great guy, and as you can tell, he is fun to be around.
Oh, no, we've been associated with Ed and PaddleTales Tackle for a few years, Gary, and you're right. He's a great guy. He's a hoot to fish with. He's just a pleasant person to be around. You go into a shop, you feel like you're walking into your garage or your basement, and you're just going to talk fishing with the guy. And he just happens to carry an incredible product line in his shop. So, great stuff. Gary,
don't let him tell you he caught a 9-pounder, because he did. It was only 8.98. So.
That 9-pounder is a big part of the controversy, I'll tell you right now. It was 9.5 pounds by the time you get home by there, Gary. Gary, we were talking to a bunch of people during the week, and I got a couple of calls from some fellas that were asking about how you've been fishing, obviously, professionally at a very high level for about 10 years now. And what they want to know, they want to fish at that level. There's a lot of guys here in northern Canada or southern Canada. It would be northern United States and southern Canada that want to go down and fish the FLW series in Lake Champlain. They want to fish the BESS. They're aspiring to fish at that level. They want advice from the guys like you who are on the top of the mountain, so to speak, to say, what do they do? What do they got to do to get involved and be able to compete at that level? What does it take, Gary?
Well, you got to be a good angler for number one. So it just requires a lot of time on the water. There's really no shortcut to it. But you just got to fish enough that you can make decisions, and the fish, they just don't seem like they ever do the same thing 2 or 3 days in a row. Sometime during that event, your bite's going to change a bit, and you're going to have to make an adjustment, whether it's find a new area or completely change pattern. So, the biggest thing is time on the water. They're just not a shortcut for it, and work on your versatility. I mean, you can't be dominant with 1 or 2 baits. I mean, you better be dominant, or not necessarily dominant, but you better be good with 8 or 10 really good techniques, to be able to compete with the guys. So the fishermen are just flat good nowadays. They're just no shortcut.
Yeah, we were talking with Jonathan Carter the other day. Jonathan was saying the same thing, actually. Jonathan was saying how there are so many good young anglers now. There's not like 2 or 3 guys that are dominating now. There's a lot of young guys that are coming up, and to your point, Jonathan said, the key was also, he said the same thing. It was versatility.
Yeah, being able to, change species or change patterns on a whim. On a breeze that'll blow by and say, "Whoop!" All of a sudden,
smallmouth to largemouth. I'm going from the flip to the jerk bait, and away you go. And Gary, you've done this over the last 10 years. You're still there. You've got the staying power, and what we mentioned when we were speaking to. Actually, we had Guido Hibden on the show. Is so many guys come and go in the sport, and you have been there for over 10 years now. And the staying power, the ability to, I guess, spend those hours on the water is definitely key, right? If we were going to look at, go ahead.
I've really been doing it for 30 years, to be honest, not 10. But I'll let you go ahead and finish. I didn't mean to cut you off. But yeah, I've been doing it for 30 years, and Gio's right. The staying power is just not there. I mean, so many anglers come and go, but our sport has so many highs, so many lows, but the highs are awesome. And some of the guys just can't work their way through having a bad year or a bad season, and or they aren't good enough or versatile enough to have those highs where they get to win an event or get to win back-to-back events or get to be an Angler of the Year title. And so it's hard to keep guys. Guys keep coming back every year.
Right. Yeah. No. It's for sure. There's a certain percentile, excuse me, or core of the guys that are fishing this that have come back every year, and you have the rest that are sort of cycle through.
Well, it's more or less like check cashers and donators.
Well, that's it.
Like come and go,
yep.
and the regular guys who stay,
who are consistent and are versatile, right?
Stay in the game.
They're still in the game. Yeah.
Being that you've been like fishing tournaments professionally and whatnot for about 30 years, what do you do like to stay motivated? What's your motivation?
Yeah, is it catching fish, Gary, or what excites
you these days?
I absolutely just love the outdoors. If I'm not fishing, I'm hunting. And it was a part of my life long before I ever got into the tournament scene. I always loved to fish, and then I made the mistake of fishing my first tournament when I was 23 years old, and I just fell in love with it because of the competition factor now with what I love to do anyway, which is fish. And I just got hooked on it at an early age, and it's just always been a part of my life. I don't really have to stay motivated. I mean, I don't always have good tournaments. I don't always have good years, but, I have enough of them that I just can't wait. When I have a bad one, I can't wait to get to the next one, get that bad tournament behind me and get a good one under my belt.
Right. No, I know the feeling for sure. I know the feeling for sure. Having fished for 30 years now competitively, I'll correct myself because I was looking at the FLW bio on you there, Gary. That's why I had that 10-year number in my head. Having done this for so many years now, if you were to pick out what is your number one strength, but also what is your number one weakness?
Oh, my strength, I've got a couple. One is my versatility. I like to be what they quote the power fisherman, guys that, I say run down the bank like an idiot, make as many casts as I can and try to catch those shallow, aggressive fish. That's how I really like to fish. But if I have to pick a jig or a worm up and fish literally 60 foot of water, I mean, I can do that easily. That's my strength, is being really versatile. I don't get hung up. I'm not afraid to take one on the chin. I'm not afraid to go gamble a little bit to try to win. That's my strength. I'm never happy. If I've got 15 pounds in a well, I want 17. If I've got 17, I want 20. I'm never satisfied with what I've got. I'm always looking to try to improve on my pattern.
Right.
That's probably my strength. My big weakness is probably sight fishing because I don't have patience. I'm not a patient fisherman, so I don't like to sit there and work on a bed fish that I might have to work it in an hour. I just won't do that. I'll just run off. So I tend to take quite a few whippings during the sight fishing time of year. If they'll stay there and lock on and they'll bite and I can catch them in 5 minutes or so, I will do it. But I'm just not patient. So I'm always that run and gun type of angler, and I just won't work bed fishing. So sight fishing is my big weakness, and I just never really chose to work on it. I can't go against what I am and who I am, and I'm not a patient fisherman. I want to run down the bank and find that next biter instead of sit there and work on one that might take me an hour to catch.
Right. So typically early in the season during the spawn and just on post-spawn, like you said, when sight fishing is a big deal, that's probably where you don't bring in your best bags. But then as things get back into their normal or regular mid-season pattern, that's where you start to get better numbers coming to the scale.
Yeah, and then, that post-spawn, they really get on good topwater bite, and, and I can start really running and gunning again. Then I'm back to doing well. And pre-spawn, of course, I just love pre-spawn. And, we're lucky enough we get to fish all year. We have our winter fishing is awesome. And I love fishing in the wintertime with just great jerk baits and spinner baits and stuff. So just the spawn is my weak time. And I know it. I just get through it. Pick up a Senko, you still catch a lot of blind cast into the bedding areas. You still catch some. You don't necessarily got to be looking at them. But at least I know my weakness. I know what I would really need to do to change it. And I can identify with it. I just patience that's my whole deal. I just don't have.
We during the winter season, Gary, I can tell you right now,
our patience are tested.
Our patience are tested because we fish through a 6-inch hole.
Now, you guys don't have a little bottle there alongside to help matters out any, do you?
Well, it sort of helps pass the time.
Miniature hooks and magnets. No,
you can do anything. You can imagine if we were throwing a jerk bait or a Senko through a 6-inch hole.
If I was fishing through a 6-inch hole, I'm afraid that Jim Bean or somebody are out on stock in one of those bottled beverages for sure.
Well, you
hit the nail on the head with that one because it's the only way you can keep warm when you're sitting out there.
That's right. Dropping a Senko through a 6-inch hole. So I feel bad, and we told Ed that just before Ed was on earlier. And I said to Ed, he said he has to go back because he doesn't have that 9-pound badge. And we said, well, you need a helper. So we have to go to California and
make sure he gets that.
Make sure he gets that 9-pounder. Yeah, for sure.
Hey, you guys are welcome anytime. And, I live up north, so we don't have the giants like they do in Southern California where they spoon-feed them trout 3 times a day. And, that's where I live. A 10-pounder is a good fish. I mean, I don't know how many. I probably caught 30 over 10, but my biggest is only 1286. That's the biggest bass I've ever caught. We don't have, abundance of 15-pounders and stuff like they do down south, but, we got some really good fishing, and I'm telling you, this invite doesn't expire. You're welcome anytime.
Well, Gary, we really appreciate that, and I can tell you now, if I'm anywhere down near Yuba, your doorbell's going to be ringing. I know we've read a lot of, and we've seen a lot of the catches on YouTube on the California Delta and around there, like you said, about those crazy weights, like a 15-pound fish and a 17-pound fish
and 45-pound bag days.
And 45-pound bag days, yeah. It's just not
redonkulous.
It's redonkulous, right? It's crazy. So, but you know something? I wouldn't spit on a 12-pounder.
No. The trophy of a lifetime.
Come on down. Come on, guys. We've got really good fishing, and Ed come down, and I can't tell you how much fun we had with Ed last year. I mean, he's just a hoot. Whether he's fishing or he's in the shop, his edge just doesn't change, and I know Ed's going to come back. We had a good time, and he actually come in with probably one of the biggest storms that we've ever had that time of year, and fishing really wasn't that good. But, he caught the largest. It was an 898, but we caught 5 or 6 over 7, honestly, and we caught a bunch of 5 and 6 pounders. So fishing was still solid.
Well, you can never count, on the weather. The weather always seems to turn sour when you most need it to be nice, but that's just part of fishing. So tell us, what do you got on the fire for 2013? What's going down in terms of your fishing career this year?
I'm fishing. We got a big Lucas event. I'm actually headed for Lake Mead Monday morning. We just finished up one on Clear Lake last week, and I'm headed down there. We got Lucas is throwing a couple of big events this year. Lucas Oil, great product, and they're really putting some money into our sport. And I'm going to support anyone that's putting money into our sport. And Lucas is doing a great job. I'm going to fish the rest of the Everstarts. And I'll be picking up tournaments here and there. We got Western Outdoor News. We've got Angler's Choice. Some of our other regions that I fish, and I'll just stay active. I've got to fish. If there's a tournament, I'm going to be in it.
How many tournaments do you fish on average in a year?
Nowadays I fish probably about 15 a year. My high point was I fished 42 one year, and I backed it up with 38 the next year. That was. But I was a little younger then, but that's how I was. I love to fish. I love to compete in tournaments. So I'll fish 15 or 18 every year.
Oh, that's a lot of time on the water for sure.
Yeah. You've been essentially with Evinrude for quite a long time. Gary, what? I guess if you're going to look at your motor and look at the power plant that's around that boat, you're fishing a lot of tournaments, like you just said. You need a dependable, obviously a dependable power plant on the back of that boat.
Absolutely.
How did your Evinrude perform this year and in the previous years? What would you rank your Evinrude? Because I know you fished other motors, but how would you rank your Evinrude with those motors?
Yeah, I've ran Evinrude for about the last 10 or 11 years I've been with Evinrude, and I'll tell you, one time I've had one problem with an Evinrude in that entire time, and I lost a simple sensor on it. It was a quick fix, and I was back on the water. The good thing about Evinrude is they're super reliable. They're unbelievably quiet. First thing people will comment on when they get in your boat, you fire your engine up, is how quiet they are. But I tell you, the power plant, the horsepower, nothing runs with them. The same motor on any, a different brand of motor on the same boat, and Evinrude always outruns them. They're very strong, they're very quiet, they're very efficient, low usage on the oils. It's just, they don't have a hole in their product. It's just absolutely awesome. I just never worry about it. Every time I hit the start button, I know I'm going, and it's just something you don't think about. I just don't even think about it, and that's the good thing. You just don't have no worries whatsoever.
Well, they're turnkey operation. That's true. Put the key in, turn it, and away you go.
And go. And something you may not be aware of, Gary, but there's a winterizing process.
Every time they talk about that winterizing, I just am completely lost because I just don't get that part of it.
You're just tuning out.
I know it's a good thing, but I know that's about all I know. It's a good thing, but it's the cool thing about Evinrude is not only the product, honestly, the people I work with. That's the other thing that is so strong. We're such a good, solid team. You get to know everybody, and a bunch of those guys help me with rod sales because they're actually my buddies. So it's kind of a family atmosphere. Great product, great people. I just couldn't ask for anything better.
No, it is. You're right. Jill Johnson's up there. She takes care of the pro staff. She does an incredible job up there. She's like Jill's like mom. She's like, you can call mom when something's wrong. You can call Jill. And Jill does a great job at taking care of the pro staff at Evinrude. Pierre Ouellette, who represents Evinrude here in BRP in Quebec, does an incredible job. The technical side. And Cynthia Vachette, who does also an incredible job up there. And like you said, all the rest of the members of the Evinrude Pro Staff team, Gary, they're so tight.
They're stand-up guys, too.
They're all stand-up guys.
Not too many bad guys on the Evinrude.
No, for sure. And then, of course, we have Jim Van Ryn of the Rod Glove, who's driving those rods up here in Montreal and in Canada for Gary. So, it's a very small, but it's a very tight community that do a lot of really good stuff together, and it's a lot of fun. It's definitely a lot of fun to be associated to them, for sure.
Yep, and I helped Jim Van Ryn buy an Evinrude 50 just a couple of years, actually with the 225, just about 2 years ago, too. He's very familiar with the Evinrude product.
Oh, no, he is, for sure. And he has nothing but good words to say about you, Gary, and obviously the product that you're putting out there. And I can tell you now, all the guys up at eNation on eNation.com for Evinrude, that I've spoken with, and I've spoken with the entire Evinrude family over the last couple of months as we get set up to move forward with them, have nothing but great things to say about you. You're doing an incredible job. You're not, the great thing the one big thing they bring up about you, Gary, is your integrity. They said when Gary says something, it's gold. It's gold. And Gary, that's Gary. And so
that's
Gary,
a great quality.
That's a great quality to have, Gary. And we're really proud and really happy to have you on the show tonight. Really are.
Hey, I'm glad to be on. If I can ever help with you guys, you need a fishing trip or something, you need some fishing rods, you need some help, anything I can do. I'm literally a phone call away, and I'd look forward to it. I'd love to be able to help.
Oh, for sure. Gary, what's in store? I know Scott's already asked you what's in store. Have you asked him what's in store for 2000?
Yeah, I did. But you were.
I was out. I left the garage. I was back.
I know you want to know.
Okay, I was back, but I need to know. I want to know what's going on with Gary. Gary, just quickly as a capsule, what's going on here in 2013? What are the big events you're at?
Just the Lucas events, the FLW events. We're really got our fingers crossed that BASS is gonna come to the West next year. You know, I've got the U.S. Open coming up in September. I haven't been able to fish it the last couple of years. My last year I fished it was 09, and I won. So I've kind of been wanting to get back and take another shot at it. But the doctor kind of puts a scalpel on my shoulder a couple times in the last 2 years at that time. So I've had a couple of rebuilt right shoulders, and so I've had a couple of health issues, and it's kept me out of it. So I'm really, really looking forward to getting back to the U.S. Open. It's a grueling event. When I won in 09, it was 122, 122, and 123 degrees. Guys, it was plenty warm.
Wow, that is grueling.
You don't want to be running a black boat with black carpets in it.
Like that. And running barefoot. Damn, that is hot, Gary. You're serious? At those temperatures feel?
Yeah, it's so hot down there that they actually require the tournament circuits to keep an ambulance on site, and that's not a joke. That is a fact.
Wow.
We have to keep an ambulance on site because, you know, guys get dehydrated, and it's kind of dangerous in those kind of temperatures. But it's a grueling event, and it's fun.
What are water temps when the air temp is that hot?
It's the mid-90s usually. It cools off a little bit at night, so it gets down in the mid-90s. And, it's just it's brutal. And you know what? Them desert fish like it. They like that. I mean, they like it hot. And you let it cool down a little bit in the mid-80s, and them suckers go lockjaw. They act like there's ice on top of the water.
That's a cold front, Gary. We gotta bring Gary.
Do you ever come up north, eastern United States to fish any tournaments?
Northeast? Do you ever come northeast, Gary?
You know, I do occasionally. On some of the championships and stuff, I come, but I won't be making a trip this year. Unless I go fishing. I mean, I fished the Sturgeon Bay Open last year in May.
Right.
I never had so much fun. Them big smallmouths were absolutely awesome, and we caught a pile of them. Richard had overall big fish in a tournament. We just had a great time, and I really would have been there this year again, but it's right on top of an FLW event, so I can't make it.
Yeah.
But Sturgeon Bay Open, unbelievable.
Wow, that's great. It's a cold front at 85. I love Gary. I love Gary. Winterizing the Evinrude. Well, Gary, listen, I want to thank you on behalf of all the listeners of being here tonight and taking time out of your very busy schedule to fill us in on what's going on in the world of Gary Dobyns and Evinrude Pro Staff, and obviously owner of Dobyns Rods. We again, really appreciate you taking the time to do this, Gary, and on behalf of the Evinrude family and obviously Mike and Scott BS Session, thank you very much for being with us tonight, and we hope to have you again as a guest.
Hey, thanks for the opportunity, guys. You guys have a great day, and we will yak at you, and I hope you come down and go fishing with me.
You take care, Gary. Take care, and say hi to everybody in California.
Will do.
All right, bye-bye. What a great guy, eh?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Is he a great guy or what? Ed,
very open, you know.
Yeah, Jim Van Ryn warned me. He said, Mike, you don't need to give this guy questions. You
know what? We didn't even talk. We could have just let him talk.
Let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you can let him go.
And I like what he said about versatility, you know. A lot of fishermen, like a lot of the guys who've been fishing tournaments for a long time, they seem to be like one-trick ponies in a sense that they have one style of fishing.
Yep.
So I think ultimately the guy who can adapt best, like he was saying, is a guy who's versatile, and that's a guy, that's staying power right there. I mean, that'll get you in the money. Maybe not first place every tournament, but you know,
it'll get you up
in the runnings.
Right? No, it'll get you up
consistently.
For sure. Great guy.
That's a common theme we've been hearing about the guys that are at the top of the game.
It's versatility.
It's
versatility.
So if anybody's going to take anything from all the interviews that we've compiled.
Yeah, what's the key message? Versatility.
And we're not going to say it again. No more.
You're going to say it again.
I'm going to say it again.
All right, we're going to go to the upcoming events. Before we get there, we're going to do a little commercial break.
Another commercial break.
And we're going to pay some bills. And we'll be right back in about 30 seconds. That's
Powerful Dad. At PowerPole, we know that sport fishing requires the ability to stop your boat and work an area quickly and quietly. Nothing stops your boat faster, safer, or quieter than PowerPole anchors. Our hydraulic technology delivers superior anchoring, The unbelievably fast action means you can stop as soon as you see a fish and hook one without any concern for stress on your transom, even in heavy wind and current. The only stress you'll feel will be on the other end of your line. Power pole, rugged flexibility that will change the way you fish.
All right, we're back.
We're back. There we go. We're getting ready to move into the end of the show. We're talking about some upcoming events, and one of the events on May 19th, the Big Pie Challenge. Yeah, St. Lawrence River.
I'll be fishing that one with my son.
Oh, yeah?
So,
that's cool.
Get your wallets ready, my friend.
Oh, I'm going to be a donator?
You're going to be a donator.
All right, sounds good. I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about Thomas.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What do you think I'm fishing with him for?
You're going to be a netman.
Yeah, of course.
That's all you're going to be doing there. May 19th, Big Pike Challenge on the St. Lawrence River, launching out of 36th Avenue in Pointe-aux-Trembles. For more information on this tournament, go to www.fishingcanada.net. That's right. And get yourself signed up, because you're going to be a member to sign up for this event.
Yeah, signing up to Fishing Canada is only $100, people. Don't
I wish. I wish. We wouldn't be sitting in the grass.
No,
we'd be doing this by the pool in California.
Gary. Exactly.
Yeah, no, it's free. You can sign up for free. And so get yourself up there. Go to www.fishing-canada.net. Also, my new E-Tech is on my mullet. Look at this. Look.
I know.
Look at it.
I've been
Look
staring
at
it.
Look at it. I'm looking at it now.
Yeah, I've been looking at its rear end for the last hour.
That's right. You see that big-ass prop on the bottom of there?
Yeah. That thing is going to move that boat.
It's going to run like a skull cat.
Absolutely.
Oh!
It's going to scream.
It's going to scream. So, yeah, it's there. Excuse me. Thank you to the people at the team at Maple Grove Marine, Claude Castonguay, Derek Lemieux, and Benoit Blais. Incredible installation and rigging they did on this boat. I sat there and watched the whole thing. You can see pictures of it on Facebook, Mike Boudreau. And why did I load another motor? Why did I load another Evinrude? Simple. 300 hours, 3 years. I don't touch this motor.
No.
I don't touch it.
You'll do 300 hours in 10 years, but that's
exactly. The last one, it's my last motor before. This one is for sale. If you'd like it, it has 67 hours on it. So it's basically a brand new motor. So come and get it. This one in 2 years or a year will be for sale, and it'll probably have even less hours on it. So you can come get yourself a brand new motor. Evinrude, which I mean,
you can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong. I don't touch the motor. I stay in the water.
Last year, up until now, I have not touched my motor.
No, but that's it. You heard Gary, right?
I put gas, I put oil,
I go,
and that's it.
And I turn
key, and then
And unlike Gary, we winterize.
Yeah.
And you where do you winterize your boat, Scott? In your driveway.
Exactly.
Right.
It takes about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Not even
4 minutes. So it saves you all the money on that maintenance. You're winterizing and all that stuff.
And you run regular gas.
Yes, you do. You
don't need high-octane gas.
No high-octane gas in this motor. It runs like a champ. It screams. This is the way you got to go. So if you don't run an Evinrude, look up an Evinrude. If you're in the market,
go to Evinrude.com.
Yeah.
I think it is, and there's a video there.
Yeah.
They have a whole bunch of tests that they did, torque tests.
Yes, against 4-stroke, etc.
Exactly.
Go look them up, and if you're in the market for a new,
and I guarantee you, sound for sound.
Yeah. Sound. Okay.
When you're running full out, that thing is screaming.
Yeah.
But when you're idling or you're just going at a low speed, it's as quiet as any 4-stroke I've ever seen.
Well, they don't know the motor's running.
No.
At the dock. People ask me, turn on the motor. The motor's running.
Not like that. The other
brand. I didn't say nothing.
There's many other brands.
There's other brands.
I'm not saying which one.
There's other brands. Tick, and a lot of smoke. There's no smoke with this puppy. I can tell you that right now. Shout outs tonight to all my friends and members and Scott's friends and members of Team Evinrude, Jill Johnson, Cynthia Béchette, and Pierre Ouellette from our Evinrude family. We want a big shout out. You guys are doing an incredible job. Props up to the Evinrude Nation here in Quebec.
Yeah, they're doing some good work.
We're doing some really great work.
A good team, and
no doubt,
they're working hard
for sure. Steve, the boss man, Bogley from Basket.
Sir,
thank you, Steve, for all your work you've done this week.
Yeah, all your help in getting us guests on past shows.
Most definitely. Gary Gosserin up at Fishing Tech, doing a great job. Gary,
looking like a beaver now.
That's right. Get that boat out of the shop with those 2 power poles on it.
Yeah,
someone's waiting. Talk to you soon. And obviously, Rochelle Chouinard.
Ooh,
Yes, Rochelle Chouinard of Navionics. bringing people home safely.
We're getting close to that 300 mark now.
Yes, we are.
We're going to be giving that app away.
That app is going. It's going to go. Look us up on BS Session on Facebook, and when you sign up, we get 300 likes on that page.
And there's a new update on the app.
Oh, yeah?
You actually have Google Earth imaging.
Get out.
With the maps.
Get out.
Very, very cool. The update is ready.
Are you serious?
The update is ready. Yep.
Are you really? Oh, let me take a look at that. I haven't updated mine.
Yeah, no. Mine, I required an update today when I was looking at my map on my iPhone.
Oh, yeah?
And sure enough.
Get out of town.
Yeah. You get satellite imagery. I don't know if it's Google Earth, but I know it's satellite imagery.
It's satellite imagery?
Yeah.
That is sick, dude.
Sick stuff.
That is sick. All right, I'm opening it up now. Give my update.
Yeah.
So, look us up on BS Session. On Facebook, and you'll be in the. I agree. Thank you. I agree, and we'll be ready to go, and we'll hand you a free Navionics app. Sponsor recognition like Claude Castonguay, as we mentioned, Benoit Blanc, and Derek Lemieux of Maple Grove Marine. Guys, keep it up. Props, top-notch team, 5-star service. K-Way Outdoor Wear. Get protected from the elements while not taking up a lot of space in your boat. And Scott is sitting beside me right now with his K-Wear on.
Not my KY, my K-Way.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. Is it KY?
No, there's no KY in it.
I didn't say nothing. It's K-Way.
No, but it's actually perfect. It's really lightweight.
Yeah.
For the type of weather we're dealing with right now, anywhere
ideal.
around 10 degrees.
Yeah, it's ideal.
Perfect.
It's ideal. No,
hey, and that's sharp looking too, isn't it?
Yeah, the coat looks very sharp.
I'm talking about me.
No, the coat.
Oh, okay.
The coat. The garment looks very good.
Yeah.
It looks very good. Sims Baits, the baits of glory.
Oh,
look them up at simsbaits.com. Navionics, making sure you get back on both land and water.
Power pole. Nothing holds your boat stronger than a power pole anchor.
Yeah, hi to Kurt. Yeah. Of a power pole, Kurt. We ain't taking red. We're going to go black.
And we'll take what we can.
We'll take what we can get. Mustang Survival. They save lives for a living.
I my Mustang all day today.
And Mr. Wu, Ben Wu at Voodoo Customs, who just rode by here tonight in his truck.
Well, that's why I ran out, because I was afraid.
He was hitching up your boat.
I was afraid he was gonna snag the bait off the deck.
Yeah, he was taking the baits off the deck.
Well, he had his window open. He drove real close.
Oh, yeah.
He was with arms.
Oh, he was gonna grab him.
I have to go out there and check.
Well, there you go. We gotta get our order jersey ready for.
Yeah,
Voodoo,
yeah. Well, we gotta get our logos.
Gotta get our voodoo on.
We gotta get our voodoo on.
Gotta get our voodoo on.
It's coming.
If you're looking for our podcast, it's available on iTunes in the podcast section and blogtalkradio.com for your laptop and desktop.
You can find us on fishingcanada.net, where we've always been.
Yep.
Always will be. You can also find us on WRVO Radio Network.
WRVO. With Reno Viola.
That's right.
That's right.
RenoViolaOutdoors.com.
Yes.
And you can also get us now on Spreaker.
Yes.
All the latest episodes are available on Spreaker.
That's right.
Look for the Fishing Canada
Radio. They also have a mobile app.
Mobile app. So.
Yes, they do. And thank you to our sound engineer / promoter / webmaster
creator
Loic. If you like all this stuff, it is, believe me, I have zero creativity in my bones, and neither does Scotty. It is thanks to Loic.
That puts all this stuff together.
That's right. All this stuff goes together for sure. So props to them all. Guys, thank you very much for hooking us up this week. And we'll definitely be back next week with some more stuff for you. Looking at fishing, looking at this season as it comes down with some more guests.
Yeah, we'll have some fishing news, too, because we'll have been out there already.
Oh, yeah, no, we'll definitely have been out there. And if I look at the schedule, next week, we don't have anybody's schedule in there yet, so we'll have to let people know. But on the 10th, as a highlight for our sponsors, Voodoo Customs.
Ben Wu and
Sheldon Hatch will be there. And also on the 24th of this month, or the month of May, Davey Height will be our highlight guest with Kurt Hill from PowerPole.
Wow, here we go.
So we're really cranking it up for this season, guys. We're looking forward to being in touch with everybody, and we hope you'll hook us up. Subscribe to the show. Scotty, it's time to go.
Yep, it's time to punch the ticket.
Let's punch the card. We're in the garage. It's time to close the door. See you next week, guys. Take care. Tag line.
This one's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can subscribe on iTunes, the WRVO Network, Spreaker.com, www.blogtalkradio.com, and www.fishin-canada.net. See you next time for another BS session. Time for another BS session. Time for another BS session. Time for